Boom. Everyone approved being recorded by me, crazy person. All right. So, April 25th, I just had an amazing weekend in Vegas. And I can't wait to share a lot of that with y'all. But this week, our presenter is the amazing Kevin Parker at True Warrior Success. And he really, truly is a warrior. So he's not only my brother-in-law, but he has had an incredible journey and overcome some amazing obstacles. So I'm excited to bring him here tonight to share with you guys his story. And I know he's got some surprises in store for you. So with that, I will literally turn it over to you, Kevin. You can present, you can just speak, introduce yourself however you want, and I'll just be here in the background if you need me.
Excellent. Well, Marie, thank you so much for that lovely introduction. I'm really, really blessed to be on this call. Well, I look around, I see ladies and ladies, girls and girls, women of all ages. I'm with the ladies in the house today. I'm really excited about this. Raise your hands if you like free. Anybody like free? Good, good, great. Because at the end of this presentation mindset training, I'm going to give you guys a bunch of free gifts that value over $300. I hope they really help you on your process of whatever you're trying to attain in your life. But I'm really going to share my story first, because I think there's a lot of lessons that can be applicable in all of your lives. See, everybody doesn't realize how precious each and every single moment is. Every moment of your life is either a lesson or a blessing. But the good news is lessons are blessings too. So every single moment is a blessing. Now, how many of you have had some tough times in your life? Dark days, miserable times, stuck in traffic for an hour, all of these things. I'm sure we all had it. I'm going to share with you a few of my dark times and the great things that happened from this. I'm going to bring it back all the way from the beginning so you guys get a backstory of where I come from and what I'm about. At 2 years old, my mother and father broke up. My mother was distraught. Thank God my mother met an amazing man named Gene, who you just seen, that were taking care of the kids. Fantastic man. He took me and my mother in. But I had a little bit of discrepancy because I had a stepbrother who I love very much at this point. But at 2 years old, he had a devastating accident. He got attacked by a wolf. It completely mutilated his face. It ripped off one of his ears. And it was one of the traumas that nobody should ever have to deal with, no less a 2-year-old. But from this accident, he became very mean and angry and resentful. And me being a little boy moving into his house, I was the enemy. I was an unscathed kid. I was unknown to him. And for whatever reason, we did not get along as kids. And he took out his anger on me physically, mentally, emotionally, every chance he got. Now, I suffered in quiet. Nobody knew that I was suffering, but at a very young age, I was suicidal. And I didn't know how to process these emotions. I told my father a few times that I wanted to kill myself, and I really believed it at my 5-year-old self. But when I got old enough to start branching out in my life, I found other comforts. By 10 years old, I was smoking and drinking on a daily basis just to ease my pain. Now, see, nobody does drugs just to do drugs. They are always a poor solution to a problem that in result becomes an even bigger problem. And let me tell you, it became even a bigger problem. I used to play baseball and football. I was in the honors class in high school. I had the world in the palm of my hands. I was an honors student. I was an all-star baseball player, football player. All the girls loved me. I had friends out the wazoo, but I was into this drug life and I couldn't work. So I started selling drugs and doing drugs. By high school, I did just about every drug you could think of. It completely took over my entire life. And slowly but surely, my grades started to decline. Now, I thought I had everything figured out. I was some hotshot kid that knew everything, like we all thought when we were young. And I cut every single corner that I possibly could. But little did I know, the only thing I was cutting short was myself. And I tell you this because there's no shortcuts in life. Before I knew it, I went from honors class and my grades dipped down to getting through high school by the skin of my teeth. All right. I watched all of my friends go to their dream colleges, which I had the skills for this, but I decided to take the shortcut to misery. I didn't know where I was heading, but I watched all my friends go away to schools, and I was very resentful for this. And it put me deeper into my decline of my depression and my anxiety and my drug use. And at 18 years old, I got hit by a city bus. I injured my neck and my back, and I got severely addicted to painkillers. This is where my life really started to fall apart. I started getting arrested on a daily, not on a daily basis, but I would say weekly and monthly. I was always getting arrested, getting in trouble. I got into a serious debt with a guy that wanted to kill me. I lost every friend that I ever had, every relationship. Before I knew it, I looked around and I was all by myself. And I didn't even see my life deteriorating piece by piece. I bounced around a few different houses. At 25, I had a place. I started getting really deep into my use and my depression. And before I knew it, I was homeless. My father looked at me. He said, Kev, you could stay with me. He let me stay for about 6 months till he gave me an ultimatum. He said, Kev, you're a drug addict. Either get help or get out. Me being in denial and a complete maniac, I looked at him. I said, I don't have a problem. You're the problem. I don't need this. I'm leaving. I was going to show him. So in the middle of November, in a tank top and shorts, in freezing cold New York, I packed a book bag. I took my safe. I threw it on my shoulder and I stormed out the house. I was like, the hell with you guys. I'm out of here. I don't need this. I walked about a half a mile in the freezing cold in my skivvies with tears running down my face, with a safe on my shoulder. I must have looked like a madman who just stole a safe. I finally get to my best friend's house and convince his mother to let me stay. And considering that I was a little better than her son was at that point, she said, Kevin, no problem. You could stay as long as you want. I told her that my father hated me, that he didn't love me, and I had nowhere to go. And she easily and quickly let me live with her. That night, she cooked me a bowl of macaroni and cheese. And let me tell you, it should have been the last meal of my life, because everybody woke up that morning except for me. They found me face first in my vomit, blue, completely unresponsive. The next thing I knew was I was waking up in the ICU 3 weeks later, fighting for my life. I found out a little later that in that coma, I died 3 times. I flatlined. It got so bad that a priest come and read me my last rites. All my friends and family were saying their goodbyes. I mean, there was no shot that I was going to make it. The first thing that I seen when I woke up was my mother's and father's face and what I did to them. It was the most guilt and shame I have ever felt in my entire life. I mean, I looked in my mother's eyes. She looked like she aged 10 years since the last time I seen her. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. I started looking around, figuring out what's going on because I was completely clueless. I realized I was hooked up to about 10 different machines, tubes coming out of my throat, tubes coming out of my lungs, out of my junk. I mean, you name it, there was bells and whistles all over the place. The doctor looks at me, says, Kevin, it doesn't look good. You have multi-organ failure. Your liver, kidneys, lungs, heart, brain are completely shut down right now. You have 20% oxygen in your brain. You have 108 fever. Your brain is frying right now. You're not going to make it. In the rare miracle that you actually make it through the night, you're going to be completely brain dead and you're going to lose all 4 of your limbs. You'll never be the son your mother once knew. When I heard this life was worse than death. Now, I was completely agnostic at the time, but like they say, there's no atheist in a foxhole. And I started praying to a God I didn't even know, begging and pleading for a second chance. Please, God, get me out of this. Give me a second chance. I learned my lesson. Please. I promise if you get me out of this, I promise I'm going to make a difference. I promise I'll change. Just give me one more chance. Weeks on end, I got no response. I didn't think my prayers were heard. Until one day, the doctor comes into my room and says, Kevin, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. The good news is, I think you're going to make it. I think you're out of the woods. The bad news is, we're going to have to take your leg or you're going to die tonight. My prayer was answered, but not the exact way that I thought it was going to be. I'll tell you, every emotion that I could possibly think of ran through my mind. Anger, frustration, regret, resentment. But amongst all of these emotions, I had to hold on to one tighter than all. And that was the emotion of gratitude. Being grateful I was still alive. See, I battled in that hospital for 4 months, not knowing if I was going to live or die. They had me on a breathing machine that they would lower the oxygen low enough so I'd have to struggle for each and every single breath, but high enough that I wouldn't die. It was absolute torture. It was like being waterboarded for weeks on end. I had to learn how to eat again, drink again, breathe again, walk again, move my hand again, all of these things like it was my first time. But I learned something so valuable from being in that hospital. And it could definitely be applicable to what you guys are doing here right now. And I learned that your support system is your number one resource in life. Because when your back is up against the wall and you have no other options, it's your support system that's going to get you through. Now, for me, it was my family. But for you, it can be your family, your friends, a little mastermind group like this, God, it doesn't matter. But when you have no other options, it's your support system that's going to get you through. Now, after 4 months, I left the hospital and I thought, wow, I'm done. I got this figured out. It's over. I couldn't have been any further from the truth. When I pulled up to my house in my wheelchair, and I realized I had to get up 2 flights of stairs just to get to my bed, it might as well have been a mountain. It took me over an hour and a half to get to my bed. Every ounce of strength that I can muster. When I got to my bed, I collapsed in pure exhaustion. And this is when it all hit me. That I was all alone. That I no longer had a career. I had no friends. My girlfriend left me. I was blind in one eye, couldn't move my hand, lost my leg. I was literally half the man I used to be. I was so angry, so depressed. I wanted to kill myself once again. But then I remembered the begging and pleading that I did with God in that hospital, begging for a second chance. Now, although this wouldn't have been the second chance I would have chosen, nonetheless, it was still a second chance. And I had to hold my end of the bargain. My stepmother introduced me to a book called The Secret. I don't know if anybody here has ever heard of The Secret. I see a few hands out there, but it's about the law of attraction. Like attracts like. Napoleon Hill said it best when he said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. This was a really powerful thought for me. It gave me hope. It gave me strength. I started writing down all the things on a piece of paper that I thought I'd never be able to do again. I started with simple things like, hey, I'd love to be able to walk once again. Maybe I can make some real friends. Maybe I'll find a woman that'll actually love me. Because I know there are literally billions of men walking around with 2 legs. I wanted to find a career, a purpose. But I knew before I did all of these different things, my first step was to get off of the drugs that they had me on. Now, I don't know if anybody here has ever had to go through opioid withdrawal, but let me tell you, it's absolute torture. See, I could have went the traditional route and went to a detox and a rehab facility, but let me tell you, there was not an army in hell that was getting me back into a hospital after I just got out. So the only way that I decided to do it is I tried to white knuckle it. I locked myself in my room for a month, sweated it out, and grunted through each and every moment of torture. But you know what? I got through it. And it was the first time in my life that I got through something all by myself. And what I learned is hard times create strong men, strong women. I'm amongst women right now. But those times, those trials and tribulations make you who you are. There are no shortcuts in life. The challenges, the battles, the struggles, that gives you the character, the perseverance, the strength, the courage, the wisdom to overcome your next battle. God gives his toughest battles to his strongest warriors. And you may not understand the season of life that you're in right now and why you're going through it, but there's always a bigger purpose. So hang in there, embrace it, look at it as a lesson and a blessing, and lean into it, because it just might be the skill or the experience you need to put you over the top. Now, after I got off the drugs, I realized the next thing is I had to learn how to walk. So I went to the prosthesis office and I asked the doc, I was like, hey, doc, what do you think? How long is it going to take me to walk? He said, Kevin, it doesn't look good for you. He said, you have complete atrophy. You lost feeling in your hand. You're 120 pounds soaking wet. It's probably going to take you 2 years to learn how to walk. When I heard this, it's almost like he punched me in the chest. I almost cursed the guy out. I was like, no offense, doc, but don't tell me what I'm going to do. I'll show you. And I rolled out of there like a madman in my wheelchair. I came back 2 weeks later with just a cane. The nurses tried to grab me. I said, up, don't you dare touch me. I'm going to do this my way. I came back just 2 weeks after that, completely unassisted, walking on my own feet. The doctors and nurses were blown away. They couldn't believe it. And from their reaction, I couldn't believe it either. It started developing momentum, and there's nothing like creating momentum. A little side note is everybody thinks motivation is something that you're going to watch or you're going to experience or you're going to see. No. Motivation is you taking action and accomplishing a goal and then creating that momentum from your achievements. That's true motivation. Motivation does not come from the outside. It comes from within. And this is the point where I started really getting motivated in my life. This was the turning point. When I started walking in a month when he told me it was going to take 2 years. In fact, I was so motivated. I trained every day for the next month. And I got all my friends and family together and a video recorder, and I had them record me running down the block. Imagine that. A doctor telling you it's going to take you 2 years to learn how to walk. You're running in 2 months. And what I've learned from this experience is don't ever let anyone ever tell you what you can or cannot do in life. Your only obstacles are your mindset and your faith. You could do absolutely anything you put your mind to, but it's about mindset. My next step was I had a complete drop wrist. I had atrophy. I had no muscle, no nerve damage. And the doctor said I'd never be able to move my hand again. And what did I say once again? I said, Doc, you don't know me very well. Don't tell me what I'm going to do. I'll show you. And I stared at my dead hand for 9 months, talking to it every day. Come on, hand. We've been doing this our whole lives. I got nothing better to do. You better start moving because I got all day. And I talked to it every single day. And then one day, my finger wiggled. That's all I needed to know. Once I knew that my finger wiggled, I stared at that finger and I wiggled the shit out of that finger until the other fingers were wiggling. Now I had a handful of wiggling fingers. I got my fingers wiggling. Then I got my wrist moving. Then I started using Coke cans to strengthen my wrist. And now I have about 95% use in my hand. It's still a little numb. I still can't do certain things. I can't flip the bird with this hand very well, or I can't type very good, but who needs to do those things that much? I'm a man of peace. This really showed me that the impossible was possible. Now, before this, I was a junkie, but I knew that I had to make some serious changes. So I took my addict personality, those traits that I had of obsessive impulsiveness, and I channeled it. And that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to teach you how to channel your gifts into the proper channels for optimal success. But I channeled my obsessive thoughts, my impulsive behaviors of addiction, and I channeled them into becoming a self-development junkie. I literally read every book everybody's read it here on the self-development field. I mean, I just absorbed everything that I can possibly read, watch, listen. I followed Tony Robbins around the country. I was a Tony Robbins groupie for a few years. I did the John Maxwell thing, the Les Brown, Mary Morrissey. I mean, I traveled all around the country just trying to absorb as much information as I possibly could. In fact, at one point, I wanted to go back to become a doctor because of how the doctor saved my life. But then reality kicked in and I realized I did not want to go to school for 10 years. So I just settled for a bachelor's degree in psychology, which was fascinating because I love human behavior and how it interacts in all of our lives. And it has helped me, but I do have a $50,000 piece of paper on the wall, which didn't do anything for me because it wasn't my field of action, but it showed me what I was capable of. And I just share that because all the little experiences in your life, all the little lessons, all the pieces of information you gather create you to be a bigger, better, stronger, wiser person. Experiences will never hurt you, but it's the definition that you give the experience. Two people can have the same exact experience. One person can use it to wallow in their own self-pity, and the other person can use it as rocket fuel to ignite a passion in them like never before, to do bigger, better things than anybody's ever seen in this world. It's up to you to give the definition to your experience, and why not give it a self-empowering definition? Why not give yourself the tools and the momentum and the recipe for greatness when it's all inside you? It's always been inside you. See, but a big thing, and I want to transition now to what I want to teach you guys. You guys may have heard of this before, but I'm going to show you a different way to look at it. And we're going to discuss how to get your needs met, because absolute fulfillment is ultimately what we're going after. See, I may have been a drug addict, but every single one of us here are addicts. Every one of you are addicts. You don't believe me? See, we're wired for pleasure. We're all addicts of pleasure. Just because your favorite flavor of pleasure is different than mine doesn't make you any better. It might be a little more healthy. It might cost a little less, but I can guarantee, I don't even have to look at all your faces. I guarantee you at least 3 of you are addicted to Amazon. Yeah, I see some shaking heads, I bet at least one of you is addicted to cookies. I mean, Marie was out gambling all night at 2:30. She was a dirty stay out, I don't know. That might be an addiction too. I'm gonna have to talk to you about that in private, Marie. But we all have these addictions in our lives because we're trying to get fulfillment. We're trying to get those dopamine and those serotonin receptors to go bing, 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 bing. But everybody has their favorite flavor of fulfillment, and we're going to go over them. And they're called the 6 human needs. Has anybody ever heard of the 6 human needs before? No? Okay, good. I have a lot of newbies here. I have Marie. Marie knows. But so we're going to go over the 6 human needs, and I want this to be a little interactive. So I'm going to ask you guys to participate in this because we're going to do a little exercise after this. So pay attention. So the first human need is the need.
That means you can unmute if you're not in the bathroom. Then you're allowed to unmute and participate.
That is a good call. So the first human need is certainty. Certainty is the need for safety, for security, to know what the outcome is going to be able to live in your comfort zone. A lot of us are really comfortable in our comfort zone. And this can be either conducive for your happiness and success, or it could be also detrimental. See, certainty is about having that comfort, about that security, about that safety. But we all know about playing it safe can also backfire in your life. See, certainty can be getting that 9 to 5 job and knowing you have that paycheck at the end of the week. Certainty could be about hanging with your best friends and your family because you know they love you. But certainty can also be about not taking that risk for that business plan that you've been dreaming about, or not asking that handsome man out that you see across the room that you've been staring at all night. Certainty can be about, it can also be about, not taking the risk that's necessary to get to the next step in your life. How many of you feel like certainty is a very important need for you in your life? I'd like you to type 1 in the chat box. I'm going to try to get a poll and see what we're looking like in this room, because I always get an array of different answers. See, I see a few ones out there. Awesome. Yeah, there you go. See, certainty is a very important need for a lot of people. It's also important for family dynamics, being able to have that support and that security of having that safety is just astronomical. I mean, people value that so much, and it's necessary. We all have this need. But the second human need, which is the exact opposite of certainty, is variety. Variety is the spice of life. Variety is, I see single mom of 2 boys. I need to be able to provide for them. Absolutely. Yeah. No, listen, I'm not knocking anybody's answers, because everybody has different situations and everybody has different needs. And we're going to discuss that and how to get these needs met in the most conducive, beneficial way for your specific situation. So the second human need is variety. Variety is the spice of life. It's about excitement. It's about adventure. It's about not knowing. It's about having something different than you're normally used to. See, if I was to ask you, let me pick somebody. Michelle, how are you today? If I was to ask you what your favorite food is, what's your favorite food?
Pizza. Are you asking Michelle Walker?
Is there 2 of them?
Well,
I'm asking you because you answered.
Okay, I was going to say I'm Rochelle, but there's a Michelle, but I think that Marie uses Michelle's account. Am I right, Marie? I don't know.
I said Rochelle, so I was talking to you.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Go,
Okay.
Rochelle, go.
So, hey, Michelle. So, Rochelle, what is your favorite food?
Oh boy.
You don't have to think too hard. You're not going to get the wrong answer if you
I
pick something
know.
crappy. One of your favorite foods.
Well, it's not really food, but I love ice cream.
Okay. So if I was to give you ice cream tonight, your favorite flavor of ice cream, you'd be like, woohoo, ice cream. I love ice cream, right? You'd be excited about it. It'd be a little treat. But if I gave you ice cream tomorrow, you'd be like, oh, wow, it's ice cream. Yeah. But if I gave you ice cream the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day, and I gave you ice cream, and the only thing you ate for 365 days was ice cream,
Right.
do you think by that 365th day, you'd be like, yay, ice cream?
Probably not.
Probably not. See, this is the importance of variety, because things lose their luster, their zest, if you have the same exact thing over and 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 over again. That's why people need variety in your life, because you'll lose your freaking mind. That's why it's one of the reasons why solitary confinement is it's one of the reasons why it's one of the worst tortures you can have.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing forever. There's no variety to what's going on, and you lose your mind. See, variety can be really important, especially for people that have businesses. If anybody here has a business, raise your hand. I bet you experience a lot of variety in your life. You never know where your next client's going to come. You never know if you're going to make $10,000. You never know if you're going to make $0. You never know if somebody's going to quit on you. You never know if the deal's not going to go through. You just never know. But it's exciting. It can be exciting. It can also be detrimental. See, variety can be you going and visiting tropical islands and experiencing the world and going and seeing great foods and go and experience places and having new adventures, meeting new people. That's how it can be conducive and for the happiness in your life. But also variety can get you in trouble. Like for instance, when I was in my way days, when I was doing drugs, I liked variety. I did every drug that I could think of. If I seen it, I did it. I never knew where I was going to end up. I didn't know if I was going to end up in jail. I didn't know if I was going to end up in a fight. I was going to end up in the gutter. I didn't know. You know, some people that like variety step outside of their relationships. And you know what? That's a detrimental way to get that need met. And the reason why I'm giving you a positive and a negative is because a lot of us have the primal need for one of these needs, but we're getting it met in the wrong way. See, once you understand what the original need is that you're trying to fulfill, you can channel it to something more conducive for your happiness and success. It's very, very powerful. There's so many applications for this lesson. So people that love variety get themselves in trouble. They might be adulterous, so they might go out and take too much risk. They might go out to the slots table and spend all their money in the slots, or bet it all on black, because they just want to have that excitement and not knowing what's going to go on. But also a lot of business leaders that love variety, they're getting their need met and fulfilled in a beneficial way because they have a business. How many of you feel that variety is a very important need in your life? Type 2 in the chat box. There you go. I see some 2s up in the house. Easy. There you go. See, I see some 2s manifesting in the chat box. And like you say, and I didn't check the names, but I would imagine that there is a few of you that put 1 and 2 because they were both very important to you. But what we're gonna discuss is we're gonna find the hierarchy of what is most important to you, and we're gonna structure your life in a way to get those needs met in priority. So the third human need is the need for significance. It's the need to feel important. It's the need to feel valuable. It's the need for people to see the significance in you, to see the importance in you, to see the value in you, to really appreciate you for who you are. Now, this can be awesome. Significance can be a really powerful need. It can make you want to be the best in your field, be the best real estate agent in Arizona. It can also make you want to be the best wife or girlfriend that your man has ever had or ever will have, or else he's, you know, but it might make you propel your skills and your abilities to the new level, to the next level. Significance is amazing. Significance will make you do something that'll change the whole world because you wanted to feel that piece of importance and that value that you're doing something worth it. But also, we all know that guy that has to feel significant no matter what. You tell him a story, you'd be like, yeah, I went to the mall yesterday, and you know, I picked out this beautiful dress. And she comes up, yeah, you know what? I went to the mall yesterday and I got 10 dresses, and I got Dolce & Gabbana to sign my boob, and I got a free Gucci bag while I was walking out the store, and I got a free massage. You know, the one-upper. The one is like, no matter what you tell them, they will just tell you that they did it bigger, better, and cooler. Because that's a person that really needs significance in their lives. And they're just not realizing that the way that they're getting that need met is looking a little self-absorbed or a little narcissistic at times. But it's because they have such a deep desire to feel significant. And a lot of the time it's because they don't feel significant, that they have to create this experience or this environment that makes them look superficially significant. And for people that have that, it's okay, because we all have needs, emotional needs, physical needs, mental needs, spiritual needs to be met. But the first step is to understand the processes of your behaviors and why you do what you do. Because if you're one of those type of people that has to show up and show off, maybe by understanding this, you could be a little humble and you could channel your direction of your significance into something actually significant. Maybe helping somebody out, maybe doing something special in your field, maybe just becoming freaking awesome at everything, you know. But to know these type of things is a really, really important part. And I know when I was younger and I was coming from a place of fear, certainty and significance were my top two needs, hands down. I needed to feel significant because I didn't feel significant. I needed to feel certain about things because I wasn't certain about anything. And that's why my life was falling apart so bad, because I was getting my needs met in a negative connotation. I didn't realize that there was so much better ways that were conducive for my success and happiness that I could have got these needs met. But I got them met in a toxic way that destroyed my whole life. And I say that not because significance or certainty is a bad need to have, but it's the way that you direct and how you get that need fulfilled. So I'm going to ask you guys again, type 3 in the chat box if significance is a really important need for you. Do you need to feel important and appreciated and valued as a person? Type 3 in the chat box. I see some nodding heads. I got some 3s in the building. Oh yeah, keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is. Peggy said, "Oh my God, that's me too." Yeah, well, you know, it's the fact of the matter is all of us have all of these needs met. We need to get all of these needs met on some kind of way. And okay. Yeah, and it's not bad, it's not good. It's just how we've been getting these things done in our lives. And I really want to make a paradigm shift from tonight in your lives that's going to propel you in a direction of success, of motivation, of fulfillment, of joy, of happiness, of love, of abundance. And the first step is really knowing these parameters of these needs. So the fourth human need is the need for love and connection. Now, I don't have to explain to you what love and connection is, and we all know what it is, but we all need this. We are social creatures. We cannot survive on our own. That's why solitary confinement is so torturous, because we need human connection. But love and connection is not just about connecting with humans. You can love a sport. You can love an activity. You can connect with a food. It's just having that passionate, intimate relationship with something or someone or something. Having that need met in such a deep, passionate, way is something that all of us crave in our lives. We need to feel that intimate connection with something. And it might not necessarily be a person. It might be a dog or a ferret or a cat. I don't know. You might have something out there that you love. You might love pizza. I know I love pizza, if you can't tell from my belly, but you know, I connect with so many things. I love so many things. I'm a lover. And we all have this need, and we need to get this met. But we also need to understand, are we getting these needs met in a beneficial way or a toxic way? Now, don't get me wrong. Loving your family, loving your friends, loving your job, those are all amazing ways to get this need met. But have you ever loved a toxic ex? Anybody ever been in a toxic relationship? Raise your hand. I know I have. I've been in a few of them, you know, and it wasn't because this person was good for me. It was because I was just in love and connected with that emotional, intimate connection and relationship that I had. I couldn't let it go. And it tore me up inside. And no matter how bad I knew it was for me, I just kept on going back like a doozy boss. And we all have situations like this. You might be connected to a cause or an old job that you had that you stayed way too long because you just wanted to help and you wanted to do the right thing. but we need to know when to cut off. We need to know what relationships in our lives are healthy and what relationships aren't serving us. And that's why hiring a coach is so important. That's why I have 3 coaches. I have a spiritual coach, I have a writing and speaking coach, and I have a personal coach, because they set me and they change and they switch my perspectives when I'm doing something that's not serving me in the best possible way. And if you can just utilize this tool that I'm teaching you today, it will be a game changer across the board. It will help you hire better. It'll help your relationships. It'll help your fulfillment. It'll help everything in your lives. But knowing these things is very, very important. Now, let me ask you, all you lovely ladies, how many of you feel that love and connection is very important to you in your life? Type 4 in the chat box. I didn't even have to tell you to type 4. Excellent. I see a few 4s in the building. Excellent. I just got to get this, trying to get this whole screen thing right. Excellent. So yeah, I see 4. Aw. I see 4s all across the board. Yeah, because love and connection is a huge person, especially with women, because women are mostly filled with feminine energy, and feminine energy comes from the heart. Feminine energy is an emotional energy, and that's why you have the capacity to love so deeply and love so strongly, and that's where that creative, beautiful energy comes from. And I'm not going to get into masculine and feminine energy because I can go on for another hour, but it's just a beautiful thing how those things have a polarity relationship and how they flow with each other so well. But love is such a powerful force. Love can conquer all, but it has to be channeled in the right place. Because if you love the wrong thing, it can do absolute devastation and destruction. There are dictators out there that loved some things and millions of people died because of it. But there are also people there that loved, like Mother Teresa, that went and saved the poor. Love is the most powerful force in this whole universe. And if you learn how to harness it and leverage it and utilize it for good and for success and for connection, for relationship, you will be that much more unstoppable. So this is where we're going to take a quick little turning point. So these last 4 needs, certainty, variety, significance, and love and connection, are the first 4 needs. The difference between these 4 and the last 2 that I'm going to explain, these last 4, you can get met in a negative way. Your certainty can be detrimental to your life. Variety can be detrimental, significance, and love and connection. But these next 2, there is literally no bad way to get these needs met. Okay, the 5th human need is the need for growth. Growth is about being bigger, better, stronger, wiser, smarter, faster, more good looking. Whatever that might be for you, it's about becoming more than you were yesterday. It's about being in battle with who you were yesterday. This is a very, very powerful need, because if you're not growing, you're dying. We all need to grow. It's a biological thing. Every cell in our body is growing and dying by the millions. And if you can utilize this need and really isolate it and figure out how to get this need fulfilled, you can hit exponential growth like you wouldn't believe. I see a big 5 on the board already. And growth is just an amazing thing because it always makes things better. There's no way to grow in a negative way. You can't grow and then make it bad. It's just not happening. You can't do it. And that's why, as I've gotten older and as I became a self-development junkie, this became one of my biggest needs. I no longer need certainty nearly as much as I used to. I no longer need significance. My life is about growth. Growth is my number 1 need in my life right now. That's why I jump on these calls, because I'm always trying to get better at what I do. I'm always trying to connect with amazing people. I'm always trying to add value to my life and to other people's lives and just get better. That's how you grow. That's how you put yourself. In fact, I'm reading a pretty amazing book that teaches you that the neuroplasticity in our brains. Everybody thought that after you hit a certain age, you can't get any smarter. Well, that's not necessarily true. We have neuroplasticity, and the way that you get stronger is you push yourself 2 to 5% outside of your comfort zone. So if this is your comfort zone, push yourself to this much, and then so it's not too hard where you want to give up, but it's challenging enough that you got to give your absolute all. And once you accomplish that, you gather that momentum and you become that bigger piece. And then you become bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the strength of growth. It can make you stronger. It can make you smarter. It can make you wiser. It can make you more successful. There's so many different applications to growth, and the best proper way to go about doing that. And I do a training on how to really grow your skills and your abilities in the most beneficial way. But we don't have time for all of that. But I'd like to ask all of you, how many of you feel that growth is one of your most important needs in your life? Type 5 in the chat box. Excellent. I see a few 5s in the building using my peoples. I see a few people typing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far. We're gonna have to narrow it down, and we're gonna share in a little bit. All right, and then I'm gonna speed it up a little bit because I don't want to take too much time. I know you guys are all busy. The 6th human need is contribution. Contribution is about adding value to something outside of yourself. Contribution is about making something better that has nothing to do with you. Contribution is the most selfless of the needs. And in fact, it's the most powerful, because they say the cure to depression is selfless service to others. Being in service to somebody that can never pay you back. That's why I love teaching. That's why I love training, because contributing to somebody, sharing wisdom, is the only thing that you can give away that nothing is taken away from you. When I contribute to somebody, when I teach somebody, I don't lose it. I solidify what I know and what I've learned, and I teach somebody else. I actually multiply it. It's the ultimate multiplier as contribution. When you start taking the focus off yourself, whether you have a business, whether you have a family, when you start focusing on other people and you start building other people up around you, you become exponentially stronger. You become more persuasive. You become more, I don't know the other words that I was going to think of because they're stuck in my head or on the tip of my tongue, but you get the point. You become more. You become more influential. You become more than you were with the help of other people. Nothing has ever been built of greatness by just one person. Anything of greatness was always built by a team. And that's why growing up, building on these masterminds, on these groups, is where you can really grow as a human, because you exponentially grow each other with synergistic effects. You guys are, whether you know it or not, you guys are all contributing to one another. You guys are all plugging in the little holes that each and every single one of us have, because we all have them, with your knowledge, with your wisdom, with your abilities, with your experiences. And you guys are helping each other become bigger, better, and stronger. And that's a beautiful thing. So last, I'm going to ask you, how many of you feel that contribution is one of your most important needs? Type 6 in the chat box. Excellent. I could see that happening because you are in a mastermind right now. So that you guys are that type of people, which is a fantastic thing. You guys are my kind of people. So what I want to ask you is now, well, before I say that, I want to let you know that anything in your life, if anything in your life fulfills just 3 of these needs, you literally will become addicted to it. You will become addicted to anything that fulfills 3 of your 6 human needs. That's why you need to find something like, for instance, for drugs, certainty. Certainty. I knew when I was doing drugs, I was certainly going to get high. I knew that variety. I didn't know where I was going to end up. I didn't know what kind of drugs I was doing. I didn't know how much I was going to do. It fulfilled variety. Significance. I felt significant when I did it. I felt like a superhuman. I felt outside of my body. And I felt a loving connection with the drug. I had this passionate, intimate relationship. So it fulfilled 4 of my 6 human needs. That's why I was so addicted to drugs. But when I took that and I channeled it to something else, like working out fulfills all 6 needs. Certainty. I know if I go to the gym, I know I'm going to get big and strong. I'm going to get these muscles. Variety. There's all kinds of different machines I can use at the gym. Significance. I feel significant when I'm in good shape and my body feels good. Love and connection. I love myself when I take care of myself. It's a form of love. Growth. My muscles grow. 6, contribution. When I become bigger, better, and stronger, I become more capable to effectively work in whatever situation I may be. I may be able to help somebody move something bigger. I might be able to help my team. If I'm on a baseball or football team, I might be a better player. I'll be able to contribute to life. I may be a better lover. And whatever it might be, I'm contributing to the people around me that get to utilize my strength from the gym. The gym fulfills 6 of those human needs. That's why there's gym rats out there. That's why people are like, got to get the gym in this morning, because if I don't get my gym in, I don't feel good. Or those people that are addicted to running because they're addicted to it. But what I want you guys to do is to look at all these 6 human needs. And I want you to put it in a hierarchy from highest, most important to least most important. I would like somebody to share their top 2. I'll give you guys a minute or 2. And then whenever somebody wants to share, I'd love to hear. And then we'll utilize that for whatever you're doing in your life. Do 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 do. Ding ding ding. Does anybody like to share? Michelle?
It's your crazy sister-in-law.
Hello, crazy sister-in-law.
Well, I figured since nobody else was jumping in, I had to. So,
Okay.
all right. My top 2, I would say by far, are contribution, hence why I started this lovely meetup group to give back to all the investors out there. Growth is definitely very
I could
high.
have said that one.
Variety is high, very,
Oh
very
yeah.
high. That's why I was, gambling at 2 in the morning. And that, because you never know, you never know. What else? Significance is definitely high.
Yes.
Obviously loving connection, family, and definitely certainty is the least important in my life.
See, but do you see how perfect Maria is? I love her to death because she's a perfect example of how getting your needs fulfilled creates a dream life. Marie she's architecturally engineered the life of her dreams by creating components that give her absolute fulfillment. She wanted to contribute and help other investors. She created a group. She commits to it every single week, no matter what. She signs up for silly little masterminds and NLP trainings and freaking real estate trainings, and every single training. You put a training in front of Marie's face, she's signing up. She's the easiest person to sell on anything. If anybody wants to know who to sell anybody on anything, it's Marie. She will say yes, because if she sees any area of growth, if she could get one fact from your program, she's like, I want it, because she's a go-getter. That's why she's successful. That's why she creates things. That's why she's a move maker. She makes things happen. That's why she has a successful business. What?
That's me too. I buy everything.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
so
by the way, Peggy was also your Miss Significance one-upper right there, just so you know. I love
my
you,
God.
Peggy.
I love
Look,
you, Marie.
point
Miss
of-
Avenger.
point proven right there. Oh, I'm that person too.
Oh my God.
No, I was like that for a long time, and there's nothing wrong with these things. But see how Marie is a perfect example for this, because she understands it. She's heard of this before, and she's a very, very smart woman. She knows how to utilize information better than most people that I've ever met. So when she learned something like this, she learned how to apply it to her life to create the life that she truly wanted to live. She moved out to Arizona. She's got a real estate business. She's got a beautiful family. She's got everything that she's really wanting. She's moving closer and closer to her goals every single day. And do you smile a lot, Maria? Are you a happy person?
I'm a pretty happy person.
Yeah. You know, she's if she doesn't have it, she's going to get it. You know, and she knows self-awareness is one of the most important skills that you'll ever have. She knows she likes variety. That's why she went to the casino last night till 2:30 in the morning. She knows what she likes. She knows how to get her needs met and get her fulfillment overtaken. But the fact that she knows those things,
This
she's
is why
not
when
gonna
I go
get
on
those-
date night with my husband.
Yeah, you go to date night with your husband.
We have to go to a different restaurant every week. Can't go to the same restaurant at date night. I shoot myself in the head.
Exactly.
Go to a different place every week so that there's a variety.
Yeah. So the fact that she's so self-aware is the reason why she's so successful, is because she knows how to utilize the information that is given. Now, this information that I've given to you is important for your own benefit, but it's also important if you have a business and you're hiring. Ask them, go over the 6 human needs and ask them what's most important to you. If certainty is really important to them and you're trying to hire a salesman, it's probably not a good fit. Maybe if you want like a secretary or something like that, maybe certainty is good. She sits at the desk or whatever the case may be, but you need to be able to utilize and leverage people for their strengths. And you need to be able to utilize your needs and your fulfillment in a way that's conducive for your success and your happiness. See, like I shared, I don't want anybody to air out their dirty laundry, but I shared with you how I was getting my needs met in a negative way. And we all have it. We all have a need that's really important to us, and we get it met in a way that's not serving us. And I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but I'd like you to be able to self-reflect about that. When you look at your list of hierarchy of which ones are most important to you, look at that top one and then ask yourself, how have I been getting this need met that has not been serving me? And how can I get this need met in a way that will be more beneficial for my happiness and success in life? And when you make this paradigm shift, it will be a game changer. It will change your life. I hope what I shared with you guys, that you guys understand the value of it and you can apply it to your life. And I hope it helped you in any way. Because it's one of the things that I do with my coaching clients. I have a company, True Warrior Success, and it's funny. I market to men, but most of my clients are women. But I feel there's such a need for men to become real men again. The demasculating of men and the men not being leaders and protectors and just stand up, charismatic, integral men is a serious issue in society. And I think it's systematically being done, but I'm trying to do my part in helping to have real men for you guys to have husbands and fathers and leaders in your lives. And that's really what I've been doing. But I seem to be just attracting women in my business.
That's because I told you you're so handsome, Kevin.
Thank you. Yeah, so I created a system called the True Warrior Success Method. It's a scientifically 7-step process to having the absolute transformational success that you want in your life, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. It will go through all areas of your life. And for being such a loyal group member of my lovely Marie, I want to gift you guys my first 3 steps. They're short little teeny video content. It's part of my coaching program. It's just a video aspect of it. But I'd like to give you guys that as a framework to get you guys pointed in the right direction. So I'm going to give you step 1, 2, and 3. Step 1 is the missing piece. Step 2 is the mission. And step 3 is your driving force. It'll have about anywhere from 5 to 8 videos in each step that will help propel you in the direction that you want to go. Is anybody interested in that? Okay, great. Well, yeah, so I'm going to give you guys my email address. It's the only way I can think of really doing this. My email address is Kevin, at truewarriorsuccess.com. Or you can go to my website, truewarriorsuccess.com. You could see whatever you want to do. I have an international best-selling book called Winning Against All Odds. This is my book. You can't see it but that's me. That's my stupid screensaver. You can't see my book, but this is my book. I'd like to give you guys all a free PDF copy of my book.
Oh
If
my
you guys,
God. Winning against what? I'm sorry, I can see that well.
it's called Winning Against All Odds.
Oh, okay, against, yeah. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
it's actually on Amazon. There's an audio book of it, and there's also the paperback. But if you guys are interested, I could send you a free PDF copy. Which I'm more than happy to do. Anything from my Marie. And you ladies have been absolutely lovely. So if you visit me on truewarriorsuccess.com, you can get my contact information. You can even schedule a Zoom meeting if you would like to get any more information or whatever you would like. If there's any way that I can help you in the future, like I said, I work with all people of all kinds of different walks of life, and I've truly helped people design the life they truly love to live. Or you can reach out to me on Kevin at
So-
True Warriors. Yes.
Yeah, I
Somebody
just
say-
wanted to give you a shout out too. So thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you for getting on here and giving those freebies away and sharing some knowledge. But I also want everyone to know that with what he does with True Warrior Success, he also does one-on-one coaching for anyone that has suffered addiction. So if anyone in your life, if you have any family members that are suffering from addiction, I mean, we've been through it. Honestly, Kevin, when you first started telling your story earlier, I had to just hide my screen anyway because I was in tears, because I was one of those people that were praying for him, you know, when they said he didn't have any chance of surviving. So, and it's not only him. I also have, you know, a biological younger brother who suffers with drug addiction. And I know that it's something that in every walk of life, and doesn't matter where you grow up, how rich you are, how poor you are, we all know people that suffer with these types of addictions. So if you know someone and they need help, please reach out to Kevin. He does phenomenal one-on-one work with addicts and really help them recover and move on, and will come spend time with them in their hometown. And I've just seen you do amazing work. So I just wanted to give you a shout out for that as well.
Thank you so much, Marie. I forgot about, you know what it is? I do so much philanthropy work. I do drug interventions. I do sober companion work where I'll stay with your loved one for a specific amount of time, whatever it is. I also do Zoom one-on-one coaching. I also help. I have connections. I'm the New York City Director of Training for the Addictions Academy. I teach people how to be recovery coaches, interventionists, and life coaches through the Addictions Academy, which is the biggest addiction school in the world. It's an internet school. But I have a network across the entire country of rehab facilities, detoxes, the best in the country. If there's anybody that needs anybody placed in a facility, anything, whether it's a detox, a rehab, sober home, anything like that, I will be happy to get them the help they need. If we need to set up an intervention, if we need to do coaching, I do from soup to nuts with recovery. I forget that I do that because I've been on this mission for the last 2 years about this, but I always do things in addiction because, you know, he's got
the leg to prove it.
the souvenir to prove it, you know. And when I do an intervention with somebody that's struggling with addiction and they're like, you don't understand what I'm going through, and I literally take my leg off and I put it on the counter and I say, no, I understand what you're going through. I get it. And I'm going to help you get through this. It's a really powerful point. I don't think I've ever done an intervention where they said no, that, all right, I'm not going to go away unless they ran away, and then I couldn't do nothing about it. I have 17 years. Congratulations, Peggy. That's amazing. I love that. Yeah, we should definitely connect. You guys can follow me on Facebook, Kevin Parker from Staten Island. And like I said, you have my website. Oh, I'm a CD nurse. Oh, wonderful. That's amazing. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Like I said, if I could save just one life, one family from going through what I went through, and I put my entire family through, then everything I went through was all worth it. I really want to thank every single one of you for listening to me. I know I talked for a really long time. I hope I was entertaining at least a little bit, and it wasn't too boring. And I hope you guys
You
got
were-
some real
yes, you
value out
were.
of what I've shared.
Sorry.
And it really was a
I
pleasure.
really enjoy your speech. I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry, but it was wonderful.
Oh, thank you
Sorry
so much.
to interrupt. I
Yeah,
lost
I
a
really,
brother, but he was yeah, it was over gambling, so it's kind of like, you know, the same old thing, but it was over gambling. So, but thank you
yeah,
so much.
it takes the some of the best people that I've ever met. You know, it just consumes them, and that's why I feel like God saved my life to help people that are struggling with these serious issues, and gave me the skills to do so. And I'm really just truly blessed that I can help at least even one person. And you know, I hate to hear sad stories like that. And you know, my prayers go out to all the families that are still struggling.
Awesome. So I did record this. I know we started earlier than normal. We will be meeting at 5 p.m. Arizona time moving forward for all Zooms or meetups, just so everybody's in the loop. But it is recorded, so I will send out a link for anyone who missed it. But before we head off, does anybody have any questions for Kevin or anything that they're really interested in hearing?
I'm an open book. Anything you need.
Yes, I actually have a question. You help only people, I mean, other people that struggle with other things, like not only addictions, but other things. Would you do that too?
Yes, absolutely. I have 9 different coaching modalities. So I really, but as you know, as marketers, you have to niche yourself in one specific place, one avatar. But I have 9 different certifications. I teach people how to coach. I'm really here to help transform lives. I'm here to show people how amazing life truly can be if you just have the right direction, if you have the right perception, you switch their paradigm to really see what life is all about. Because everybody has an amazing X factor, but they just haven't utilized it. They haven't leveraged it. They haven't found the fulfillment in their life to give up the bad things that are destroying their lives, whether it be mental health, whether it be addiction, whether it be self-limiting beliefs. I mean, there's just so many things that people struggle with, but I help people become super people. You know what I'm saying? Like I help them really see what their strength comes from. I do strength-based coaching. I show them, I help them double and triple down on the things that they're good at and delete and delegate all the stuff that's not serving them. And I'm very, very good at influencing the people that I work with. I'm very passionate about what I do. And like I said, if I can help anybody, I'm always for it.
Kevin, thanks for sharing your story. It sounds amazing, and thanks for what you do. This isn't for me, but are you single?
Hey,
I am single. I am single.
How old are you?
I'm 35 years old.
I got a nurse daughter that you might be good for, but you live in New York, huh?
Listen, Marie's been telling me to move out to, if I found, I'm looking for a good woman, honestly. If I find a good woman, I'll move
She's
to
a
the
good
other side of the
woman.
earth.
Oh my God, Brooke's daughter is amazing. That would,
Yeah.
I've been trying to convince him to come out here, Brooke. Maybe we set him up on a blind date.
That might be the reason to get him out here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm done with New York, honestly. You know, it's just I have so much family out here, and it's just hard for me to just leave everything. But if I could start my own family somewhere, I'd be more than happy to. I hate it here in New York.
The alternative
Well,
is
just
running
make
Yeah.
make sure that variety is a little bit higher on your list, Kev, because then you'll come out here. You
Yeah.
know, let go of the certainty a little bit and get your booty out here.
Yes.
We get more clients out here, I promise you.
Yeah. Listen,
That's true, too.
I'm completely open to everything. I was in a toxic relationship for a while. Like I explained earlier, I just couldn't let this one go because I wanted to help. I'm a helper. I'm a fixer. So when I'm attached to somebody that needs a whole lot of fixing, I get myself into some trouble. I'd like to meet somebody that doesn't need to be fixed, and I could
He
build a
doesn't
life
need to
with.
be fixed. He's a nurse, she's a fixer.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. I'd love that.
All right, anybody else got any questions for Kevin? 'Cause I
I'm the matchmaker, and
Let's
she's
go.
on the Zoom too.
I was just kind of wondering about what what your stance is on medically assisted treatment and harm reduction.
Okay, so my stance on this is I don't prefer it, but I will do anything to save a life. I work with NFL players. I've worked with some people in Hollywood, and a lot of them want to do the California sober thing where they try to get off of heroin or cocaine, but they want to be able to smoke weed and drink. And I'm okay with that. If we're going to save a life, then I'm more than happy to do that. But the best way is absolute abstinence. I feel that Suboxone can be a very good thing for people that are shooting dope and that they can't get off of it, and it helps them maintain it. But ultimately, the best thing would be to not be dependent on anything. But I think they do have their purpose for people that need that. I know that it saved a lot of lives, but I try to counsel the people that I'm work with, try to do it in complete abstinence. But if that doesn't work, and we need some kind of medical assisted program, whether it be Suboxone, anything out there, even, whatever it might be. I've had harm reduction clients where I taught them how to drink responsibly. I'll go to the bar with them and I'll have 1 or 2 drinks with them and monitor how they respond and how they react and see how it is. I've went to marijuana stores and picked out bud with clients because they were trying to get off of methamphetamine, and they just didn't want to give up a vice. And my motto is if I can get them to stop selling their kids toys for crack and they want to smoke a joint at the end of the night, if that saves their life, who am I to judge?
Thank you for answering that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Well, and marijuana is totally legal here in Arizona, so
Yeah.
recreational and everything.
Yeah, like I said, I'm no one to judge anybody. I've been through the ringer. I've done it all. I've seen it all. I can't judge a single soul on this planet. It's not my place to judge anybody. My job is to save people's lives, to make their life better than it was when I found them. And that's what I do. I help people create a life that they love living. And whatever that might be for them, I can't make that decision. I'm a coach. I can help them utilize their skills and their tools to create that life, but I can't make those decisions for my clients.
I have a question
All
for
right,
you.
well,
Yes. Yes, Steph.
So I just went onto your website and I noticed that you have a section for events, and 2022 is yet to be announced. But I see that you have a seminar for couple and then for men. And you said your target audience is men, yet you find that most of your clients are women.
Yes.
Are you open to changing that for women as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a relationship seminar that's relationships in recovery, because there's nobody that are doing seminars that are dealing with addict relationships. And I'm going to be doing that with my mentor in Florida in September. It's going to be a really powerful weekend event. And the True Warrior Success Method event, I have another partner, Mr. Black in Texas, that we have put together the event. And we have been discussing that it's going to be a co-ed. So I don't see it. I don't see that being just solely for men, that seminar event. So, like I said, I serve men and women. Like I said, most of my clients are women. But when I chose, the one thing that I suck at in life is marketing, because I'm very good at what I do. So I get 90% of my business through referrals. and through speaking events and through whatever I do. But marketing has never been my big thing. I've been learning marketing for the last year, and they told me I had to pick an avatar, pick a problem, pick a solution, pick an avatar, and stick with that when you do marketing. So I'm learning how to do that.
Marie, help Kevin out.
What?
What family member is helping you out?
I can help Kevin out with his marketing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
got the- you got the-
I'm learning marketing because, you know, sometimes it's just not sustainable to live off of referrals. Like last year in November, December, I didn't get one client, and I got scared because I was like, is the well drying up? I was like, do I have any more clients left? But then the beginning of the year kind of did very well for me. So, but I'm learning marketing right now. But I'm open to helping anybody that I can help. I won't take a client that I can't help, but I find very few people that I can't help in the desired way that they need help. Why, are you interested in the seminar?
Well, I'm interested in you. What you're doing is very, very important for a lot of people out there. And the fact that, you know, you've been through it and you're sharing your story, it's very impactful. It's very meaningful.
Thank you. I really, really do appreciate that. It means a lot to me.
Don't get the wrong idea though. Steph's married, so she's not actually interested in you. Same way Brooks.
I'm
Brooke's
interested in helping
interested in
this
you.
matchmaking thing. Brooke, I'm willing to help you out.
Oh no, don't worry. I just sent him a picture of Brooke's daughter, and she's pretty hot. So Kev, if you have your phone around, you gotta pick up your cell phone and look at Bree. She's pretty cute. I think she's right up your alley. So
Wow, she is beautiful.
Yeah. So Kevin needs to come out
there
to
you go.
AV.
We're matchmaking tonight. So when you coming
Prettier
back to
inside
Arizona,
than
Kev?
outside.
Your daughter is very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, Steph, if you'd like to jump on a Zoom call and we can have a private discussion on how we can, you know, move forward or help in any way. I'm always looking to collaborate, work with anybody that I find, and really just connect with people. I love for you guys to follow me on Facebook. That's my main platform that I use. So if you guys like to friend request me, I'd love to stay in contact. And
Absolutely. We're going to do whatever we can to get you out there in front of more people, helping more people.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that, because word of mouth is the most powerful marketing tool that there is. And my reputation is everything to me. So I really do appreciate that you guys enjoyed the presentation. I'm glad that I connected with you guys in a deep way. And it really was a blessing to be able to do this and get to meet all of you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Janet.
Questions for Kevin?
What?
Any last questions for Kevin?
Any last questions? Going once, going twice.
I will say, I know I missed most of the presentation. I got stuck in a meeting, but I will go back and watch it. I've watched a few of your videos and stuff. Marie's been talking about you for years, so I'm really excited to half meet you. So hi, I'm Mia.
Hello, Mia. A pleasure.
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. She recorded it. Actually, Marie, I like the recording as well. I like to always check over my presentations just to see if there's any way that I can improve. I haven't been speaking for the last 2 months, so I'm a little rusty right now. So, and I have a really big talk tomorrow morning with about 20 prospects. So I'd love to be able to check that out. And
You did great.
Thank you.
You touch people's hearts, so you did
Oh.
great. I really would get in touch with you because there is people who needs help. So definitely.
Wonderful. Like I said, we can have that private discussion some other time. My Calendly link is on my website. If you just you'll see it. It's one of the pages, but you can actually just click. It
Yeah,
says
so-
all over my thing, book 15-minute call. I love to get you
Yeah.
guys on my schedule. I love to have some private conversations and talk about things that we can't talk in group discussions. Complete confidentiality.
Yeah. All right. Well, awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kevin. I really appreciate it. I love you.
Maria, I love you very much. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure meeting everybody. I'm looking forward to connecting with all of you, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Kevin. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Yes. All right, good night.
Good
All
night.
right, everybody. Next week, we're gonna be at a property tour at Liz's place on, what is it, 24th or something like that? But you guys went there a while ago while I was out of town, while it was under construction or just starting construction. And it's all done and it'll be pretty and staged and all that. So I'll be posting details on that tomorrow. And I love you guys. I'll see you next week in person.
Thank you,
All
Marie.
right, bye. Thank you guys. Bye.
Thanks, Marie.
You order some more ink?
I'm just looking.